Hello friends, welcome to today's daily devotion. I'm reading to you out of 2 Corinthians, the 6th chapter, and I'm reading the first 10 verses. Hear now these words. The Apostle Paul writes, "As God's co-workers, we urge you not to receive God's grace in vain. For he says, in the time of my favor I heard you, and in the day of salvation I helped you. I tell you, now is the time of God's favor. Now is the day of salvation. We put no stumbling block in anyone's path so that our ministry will not be discredited. Rather, as servants of God, we commend ourselves in every way. In great endurance, in troubles, hardships, and distresses, in beatings, imprisonment, and riots, in hard work, sleepless nights, and hunger, in purity, understanding, patience, and kindness, in the Holy Spirit, and in sincere love, in truthful speech, and in the power of God, with weapons of righteousness in the right hand and in the left, through glory and dishonor, bad report and good report, genuine yet regarded as impostors, known yet regarded as unknown, dying and yet we live on, beaten and yet not killed, sorrowful yet always rejoicing, poor yet making many rich, having nothing and yet possessing everything." Does any of that describe you in your life, your situation? Are you dealing with the same kinds of thing that Paul was dealing with, that he is commending as being the examples of God's grace, the favor of God, the day of salvation? I'm going to be honest, in many ways, I don't feel like this is my list. In fact, this is a list that in some parts of it makes me feel a bit uncomfortable. Who wants to be beaten, imprisoned, be subject to rioting, to have to deal with sleepless nights and in hunger? Those are things that I don't want. But yet Paul also describes about all the things that I do want: purity, understanding, patience, kindness, the Holy Spirit in sincere love. These are all the things that I want to have. And what I'm beginning to realize is that you can't have the one without experiencing the other. And so God is present with us in the good and in the bad, in the wonderful and in the terrible. And so lean into the grace of God. Recognize that today is a day that God is at work saving you in all the ways that God can and will. So trust in God that His grace will not be in vain for you. And I'll see you tomorrow for another daily devotion.